My ex-wife changed the locks and told me not to come home. But did she forget I still owned the house? I'm a 5-year-old electrician who's been working construction since I was 18, built up a decent savings, bought my house when I was 28, a nice 3-bedroom ranch with a big backyard and a 2-car garage. Nothing fancy, but it was mine. Paid for with my own sweat and overtime hours. 2 years ago, I married Amanda, who seemed responsible and down to earth as a dental hygienist. I kept the house in my name to protect my assets after seeing my brother's messy divorce. About 6 months ago, things changed. Amanda became critical of everything, started spending more time at the gym, bought new clothes, and often had late yoga classes. I wasn't born yesterday. The signs were all there, but I figured I'd let it play out and see what she was really up to. Last Tuesday, while working downtown, I got a text from Amanda. "I'm done with this marriage. Change the locks. Brad's moving in this weekend. My lawyer will contact you about dividing assets." Brad, her personal trainer from the fancy gym across town. The pieces clicked into place immediately. I'm standing there in my work boots, tool belt around my waist, reading this message twice to make sure I understood it correctly. This woman really thought she could just kick me out of my own house and move her boyfriend in like some kind of real estate hostile takeover. My coworker, Mike, saw my face and asked what was wrong. I showed him the text and he just started laughing. "Dude, she knows you actually own that place, right?" That's when it hit me. Amanda had always acted like we owned the house together, but she'd never seen the deed, never been involved in property taxes, never dealt with homeowners insurance. In her mind, marriage automatically meant shared ownership of everything. I called my buddy Steve, who's a real estate agent. "Steve, remember how you said my house would sell fast in this market? How fast are we talking?" "Mark, with the location and condition, I could have buyers lined up by tomorrow if you're serious." "Dead serious. I need a cash buyer who can close in 2 weeks max." "What's the rush?" "Let's just say I'm dealing with some unwanted house guests." By Wednesday morning, Steve had 3 cash offers above asking price. I picked the highest one with the fastest closing date, exactly 12 days away. Thursday morning, I drove by the house to see Brad's lifted truck in my driveway and his motorcycle in my garage. The audacity was breathtaking. This guy was already making himself at home, probably thinking he'd hit the jackpot with his new living situation. I parked across the street and called Amanda. She answered on the first ring, probably expecting me to beg to come home. "Amanda, I hope you and Brad are comfortable because you've got 11 days to enjoy the place." "What are you talking about?" "I sold the house. Cash buyer closing next Friday. You'll need to be out by then." The silence stretched so long, I thought the call had dropped. Then she exploded. "You can't sell our house without my permission. I'll sue you." Brad gave up his apartment lease. "Actually, I can sell my house whenever I want. It's called property ownership. Maybe Brad should have checked the deed before giving up his lease. This is insane. Where are we supposed to go?" "Amanda, that became not my problem the second you changed my locks and moved another man into my house." I hung up and drove to work with the biggest smile I'd had in months. The next few days were entertaining. Amanda called probably 50 times. Her mom called screaming about me being heartless. Even Brad called once, trying to man-to-man negotiate some kind of deal where they could stay longer. But here's the beautiful part. Brad had given up his apartment and spent his security deposit on new furniture for their love nest. When he found out Amanda had 0 legal claim to the house and they were about to be homeless, he packed his truck and disappeared faster than my marriage had fallen apart. Closing day arrived and the buyers pulled up right on schedule. We walked to the front door and my key wouldn't turn. I looked through the window and saw Amanda sitting on the couch, arms crossed, with a smug smile. She'd changed the locks again and had somehow filed paperwork claiming squatters' rights. The buyers started getting visibly angry, threatening to pull out of the deal. Then I noticed Amanda wasn't alone inside. Her mother was there too, sitting in my favorite recliner like she owned the place. And beside her, some guy I'd never seen before. Turns out it was her mom's new boyfriend. This dude named Tony who thought he looked intimidating in his leather jacket and sunglasses. All 3 of them were sitting there like some kind of united front, clearly trying to intimidate the buyers into walking away. The husband buyer, this guy named Jeff, was getting redder in the face by the second. "This is ridiculous," he said. "We're supposed to close in like 20 minutes and we can't even get inside?" His wife, Kelly, was already pulling out her phone. "I'm calling our lawyer. This is breach of contract or something." I held up my hand. "Hold on, just give me a second." I pulled out my phone and opened my Photos app where I'd saved pictures of the original deed and all the closing documents. I walked right up to the window where Amanda could see me and held up my phone, showing her the deed with my name and only my name on it. "See this?" I said loud enough for everyone to hear. "Sole owner, Mark Davidson. Not Amanda Davidson, just Mark." Amanda's mom stood up and started yelling through the window. "You can't just kick her out. She has rights. She's been living here for 2 years. "Yeah, as my wife, not as an owner. There's a difference." Tony stepped forward, trying to look tough. "Maybe you should just walk away, buddy. Let them have a few more weeks to figure things out." I looked at Jeff and Kelly. They were clearly about 2 seconds from getting back in their car and driving away forever. I had to think fast. Look, I said to them, I know this is insane, but I can fix this, I promise. Give me until tomorrow, same time, and I'll have the house empty and ready for closing. I'll even knock $5,000 off the price for the inconvenience. Jeff and Kelly looked at each other. I could see them having one of those married couple silent conversations where they're saying 1,000 things with just their eyes. 5,000? Kelly said. 5,000. Cash at closing. And if I can't deliver, you walk away, no hard feelings, and I'll compensate you for your time. Jeff rubbed his face. All right, tomorrow, same time, but if this happens again, we're done. They got back in their car and left. I stood there on my own front lawn, looking at Amanda through the window. She was smiling like she'd won something. I got back in my truck and immediately called a locksmith company. Yeah, I need emergency service. I'm locked out of my own house. I explained the situation, showed them the deed over email, and they agreed to come out at midnight. Then I called my contractor crew, the guys I'd worked with for years on various jobs. Hey, I need some backup tonight. Midnight. I'll explain when you get there, but bring your trucks. I booked a hotel room and sat there watching TV, but honestly, I wasn't really watching. I was just waiting, letting Amanda think she'd won, letting her get comfortable. At 11:45 p.m., I pulled up to the house with the locksmith van right behind me, followed by 3 pickup trucks with my contractor buddies. The house was dark except for one light in the bedroom. Amanda was probably already asleep, dreaming about how she'd outsmarted me. The locksmith, this older guy named Ron, looked at the deed I showed him on my phone. Yeah, you're definitely the owner. Let's get you back in your house. He had the lock picked in about 3 minutes. We opened the door quietly and I flipped on the lights. The house was basically empty. Like, all my stuff was gone. The couch was some cheap thing I'd never seen before. The TV was a different model. My tools that I'd kept in the spare room closet? Gone. The family photos from my parents? Gone. Even my dad's old fishing rods that he'd given me before he died? Nowhere. What the hell? One of my contractor buddies, Jorge, said. Where's all your stuff, man? I walked through the house room by room, getting angrier with each step. The bedroom had Brad's dumbbells and some clothes I didn't recognize. The bathroom had Amanda's makeup and hair products everywhere, but none of my toiletries. The kitchen had different dishes, different pots and pans. That's when I found it. In the trash can under the sink, there were receipts. Storage unit receipts. From a place called Safekeep Storage about 15 minutes away. The name on the receipt? Patricia Summers, Amanda's mom. I pulled out the receipt and checked the date. 3 weeks ago. 3 weeks before Amanda even sent me that breakup text. She'd been planning this whole thing. The storage unit, moving Brad in, everything. These people are unbelievable, I said, showing Jorge the receipt. So what do you want to do? He asked. I checked my watch. It was almost 1 a.m. We wait till morning, then we're going to pay Safekeep Storage a visit. We decided to post up and wait. Amanda must have heard us because around 2 a.m., the bedroom door opened and she came out in her robe, screaming, "What are you doing in my house? I'm calling the police." I held up the deed. Your house? This is my house, Amanda. Always has been. And you stole my property. I didn't steal anything. Then where's all my stuff? Where's my tools? My furniture? My dad's fishing rods? She went pale. I put them somewhere safe. You mean your mom's storage unit? The one you rented 3 weeks before you even told me you wanted a divorce? Her mom came out then, Tony right behind her. You have no right to be here, Patricia said. Amanda filed squatter's rights. Squatter's rights don't apply when someone's married to the property owner and then illegally changes the locks. That's called theft and unlawful exclusion. I could have you all arrested right now. Tony tried to step forward, but Jorge and the other guys moved in front of me. Tony was outnumbered and he knew it. We're staying until morning, I said. Then you're all leaving. For good. We sat in that living room, my guys and me, while Amanda and her mom and Tony stayed in the bedroom. I don't think any of us slept. Around 5:30 a.m., when the sun started coming up, I told the guys it was time. We drove to Safekeep Storage in a convoy. I had the receipt with the unit number. When we got there, the place was basically deserted. It was too early for the office to be open. Jorge looked at the lock on the unit. You sure about this, man? It's my property. She stole it. I'm just taking it back. He pulled out bolt cutters from his truck. 2 seconds later, the lock was on the ground and we were rolling up the door. Everything, all of it, was there. My leather couch, my dad's fishing rods, my tools, my TV, even the photos from my parents' house. Amanda hadn't just taken my stuff. She'd basically packed up my entire life and hidden it away. It took us about 40 minutes to load everything into the trucks. Some of it was heavy, like my workbench, but we got it done. By the time we were finished, the storage unit was completely empty, except for some of Brad's cheap furniture that Amanda must have bought to replace my stuff. We drove back to the house. Amanda was standing on the front lawn, screaming into her phone. When she saw the trucks, she went quiet. We unloaded all of Brad's furniture, every piece of it, right onto the front lawn. The couch, the TV stand, the bed frame, everything. Then we carried all my actual stuff back inside. While the guys were doing that, I went to the hardware store and bought new locks. Better ones this time, the kind that are basically impossible to pick. I installed them myself, changed every lock in the house. Front door, back door, garage, everything. By the time I was done, it was almost 9 a.m. Amanda was still outside, but now she was throwing rocks at the windows. Her mom was on the phone, calling over and over, but I'd blocked her number. I sat down at my kitchen table, my actual kitchen table that I'd bought 5 years ago, and made myself some eggs. Just sitting there, eating breakfast in my own house, while Amanda lost her mind outside. That's when I checked my bank account and my heart dropped. Our joint checking account, the one we'd set up after we got married, was at zero. Actually, negative $47 because of an overdraft fee. I logged into the account history and there it was. A withdrawal of $12,000 from 2 days ago. Every penny we had. And my credit cards, the ones that had my name on them but Amanda had as an authorized user, maxed out. Every single one. She'd gone on some kind of shopping spree, charging thousands of dollars at stores I'd never even heard of. I called the bank immediately. Yeah, hi, I need to report fraud on my account. The bank lady, she sounded tired, like she dealt with this kind of thing all the time. What kind of fraud, sir? My wife drained our joint account and maxed out my credit cards without my permission. Is your wife an authorized user on the account? Well, yeah, but then technically it's not fraud, sir. She had permission to use the account. She forged my signature on the credit card applications. That got her attention. You're saying she forged your signature? I never authorized her to be an authorized user on my credit cards. Check the applications. That's not my signature. She put me on hold. 10 minutes later, she came back. Sir, I'm looking at the applications now. The signatures are questionable. I'm going to need you to come in with your ID and marriage certificate so we can verify your identity and freeze these accounts. I'll be there in 20 minutes. I drove to the bank, brought all my documentation, and spent 2 hours dealing with it. They froze the joint checking account, canceled my credit cards, and started a fraud investigation. The manager assured me they'd work on getting the money back, but it could take weeks. In the meantime, she said, I'd suggest opening a new account in only your name. I did exactly that, transferred what little money I had left from my personal savings into the new account and closed the joint one. When I got back to the house, Brad was there, and he'd brought friends, 2 guys who were clearly from his gym, all muscles and attitude. They were standing on my front lawn with Amanda, and she was pointing at me like I was the bad guy. That's him, she said. That's the guy who's trying to kick me out of my own home. Brad stepped forward. I'm not gonna lie, the guy was big. Probably 6'2", maybe 240 pounds. His buddies weren't small either. Look, man, Brad said. Amanda says you're being unreasonable. Maybe we can work something out where she stays here until she finds a place. I pulled out my phone and started recording. You're trespassing. All 3 of you. This is private property and you need to leave. Come on, don't be like that, one of Brad's buddies said. We're just trying to help. Help? I said. You mean intimidate? Because that's what this looks like. 3 guys showing up to someone's house to physically threaten them into doing what they want. Brad's face got red. Nobody's threatening anybody? Then leave. Now, all of you. Brad looked at his buddies, like he was trying to decide if they should push it further. I just kept recording, kept my phone pointed right at them. You know what? Brad said. This ain't worth it. Amanda, you're on your own. He turned and walked back to his truck. His buddies followed. Amanda started screaming at him, calling him a coward, but he just got in and drove off. She turned to me, and for a second, I actually saw real fear in her eyes, like she was finally realizing that her little plan had completely fallen apart. You can't just throw me out, she said. I have rights. You had rights when you were my wife, but you ended that marriage when you changed the locks and moved your boyfriend in. Now you're just a trespasser. Her mom's car pulled up then. Patricia jumped out, already yelling before her feet even hit the ground. You monster, you're ruining my daughter's life. I'm going to tell everyone what you're doing. I'm going to call your boss. I'm going to post about this online. You're going to do nothing, I said. Because if you show up at my job sites or contact my clients, that's harassment and I'll file a restraining order so fast it'll make your head spin. She looked shocked, like nobody had ever talked to her like that before. I was already ahead of her though. During my lunch break at the bank, I'd sent a professional email to my boss and my 3 biggest clients. Explained that I was going through a divorce, that my ex-wife and her family might try to contact them with false accusations, and attached copies of all my documentation. The texts from Amanda, the property deed, the storage receipts, everything. My boss had already responded. Thanks for the heads up. Actually, a woman called here twice yesterday claiming you were abusive and dangerous. I told her to stop calling or I'd report her for harassment. You're one of my best guys, Mark. Let me know if you need anything. 2 of my clients had responded similarly. The 3rd one hadn't responded yet, but I wasn't worried. I've already told them, I said to Patricia. They know the truth, so you can make all the phone calls you want. It won't change anything. Over the next few days, Amanda tried everything. She told our mutual friends that I'd cheated on her with a coworker, that I'd become violent, that she'd only changed the locks because she feared for her safety. I didn't engage, didn't argue, didn't try to defend myself. I just created a group text with all our mutual friends, the ones who'd been asking me what happened, and I sent them screenshots. Amanda's text admitting to Brad, the storage unit receipts showing she'd been planning this for weeks, photos of the maxed maxed out credit cards, everything. I didn't add any commentary, didn't say a single word, just sent the evidence and let them draw their own conclusions. The responses came fast. Some people apologized for believing Amanda's lies. Others just stopped talking to both of us, which was fine by me. A few people tried to stay neutral, saying they didn't want to get involved in drama. But the damage to Amanda's story was done. Everyone could see the truth now. Then Amanda tried to file a restraining order. I got the notice in the mail and almost laughed. She was claiming I was abusive, that I'd threatened her, that she feared for her safety. The court date was set for 2 days later. I showed up with my lawyer, a guy named Rich who I'd hired specifically for the divorce. Amanda showed up with some legal aid attorney who looked fresh out of law school. The judge, this older woman who looked like she'd seen everything twice, read through Amanda's petition. Then she looked at Amanda. "Mrs. Davidson, you claim your husband threatened you?" "Yes, Your Honor. He said he was going to throw me out of our house." "His house," the judge corrected. "According to the property records, Mark Davidson is the sole owner of the residence. Is that correct?" Amanda's lawyer tried to jump in. "Your Honor, my client has been living in the residence for 2 years and has established—" "I'm asking Mrs. Davidson a question," the judge said. "Mrs. Davidson, did you change the locks on a house you don't own and prevent your husband from entering?" He was. Brad and I needed." The judge held up her hand. "Yes or no?" "Yes, but did you steal your husband's property and store it in a storage unit under your mother's name?" "I was protecting his things from—" "Yes or no, Mrs. Davidson?" "Yes." The judge looked at the paperwork in front of her. Then she looked at me. "Mr. Davidson, do you have evidence of these claims?" Rich stood up and handed the judge a folder. Inside was everything. The texts, the storage receipts, bank statements showing the drained account, copies of the credit card fraud reports. The judge spent about 5 minutes reading through it. Then she looked at Amanda. "Mrs. Davidson, your petition is denied. Not only are your claims of abuse unfounded, but the evidence suggests you're the one who's engaged in harassment and theft. Mr. Davidson, if you wish to file charges against your wife for theft and fraud, that's your right. I'd suggest you contact the police." Amanda stood up. "This isn't fair. He's trying to ruin my life." The judge's expression didn't change. "No, Mrs. Davidson, you ruined your own life when you decided to steal from your husband and move your boyfriend into his house. This court is adjourned." Amanda stormed out of the courtroom, her lawyer trailing behind her, looking embarrassed. I heard her on the phone in the hallway screaming at someone. "You need to fix this. I don't care how. If you don't fix this, we're done. I'm not going to be homeless because of your—" It was Brad. She was screaming at Brad. I walked past her without a word, but I caught enough to know that their relationship was falling apart just as fast as our marriage had. The next day, I got a call from an unknown number. Usually I don't answer those, but something told me to pick up. "Mark, hey, it's Brad." I almost hung up, but curiosity got the better of me. "What do you want, Brad?" "Look, man, I know this whole situation is messed up. She's not handling this well. Not my problem." "Yeah, I know, but listen, I have a proposition for you. This should be good," I thought. "I'm listening. I can convince Amanda to sign away any claims to the house, the money, everything. Just walk away clean, but I need you to help me out." "Help you out how?" "Give me $5 grand. I'll use it to set Amanda up somewhere, and she'll leave you alone. Clean break. No more drama." I was so stunned I almost laughed. "You're trying to extort me?" "I'm trying to help both of us out here. Amanda's driving me crazy too. If you give me the money, I'll get her to back off." "Let me think about it," I said. Then I hung up. I immediately called Rich. "Brad just tried to get me to pay him $5,000 to convince Amanda to drop her claims. Did you record it?" "No, but I can probably get him to say it again." "Do it. Call him back. Record the conversation. That's extortion. We can use that." I called Brad back, this time with my phone's recording app running. "Hey Brad, I thought about your offer." "Yeah? So you'll do it?" "I just want to make sure I understand. You want me to give you $5,000, and in exchange, you'll convince Amanda to stop claiming she has rights to my house and my money?" "Exactly. $5 grand, and all your problems go away. And what happens if I don't pay you? Then Amanda keeps fighting this, keeps making your life hell. Trust me, $5 grand is a lot cheaper than a long legal battle." "Thanks, Brad. That's all I needed to hear." I hung up and sent the recording to Rich. He forwarded it to the police and to Brad's employer, the fancy gym where he worked as a trainer. Brad got fired the next day. Turns out the gym owner didn't appreciate his employees engaging in extortion. It was bad for the brand. Amanda called me 17 times that day. I didn't answer any of them. The new closing date was set for the following Friday. The buyers, Jeff and Kelly, had agreed to come back after I'd offered them the $5,000 discount and assured them there would be no more drama. The day before closing, I drove by the house one more time to make sure everything was ready. The lawn was mowed, the windows were clean, all my stuff was moved out to my new apartment. That's when I saw Amanda's car blocking the driveway. She was sitting in it, engine off, just staring at the house. I parked on the street and walked over. "Amanda, you need to move your car." She didn't look at me. "This was supposed to be our home. It was my home. You just lived in it. I gave you 2 years of my life. And I gave you a place to live rent-free, access to my money that you stole, and a marriage that you destroyed. We're even." She finally looked at me. Her eyes were red. "I have nowhere to go. That's not my problem. You should have thought about that before you changed the locks and moved Brad in. Brad's gone. He won't even answer my calls. Shocking, I said. The guy who gave up his apartment to move in with you without checking if you actually owned the place turned out to be unreliable. Who could have seen that coming? You're enjoying this. I'm not enjoying anything. I'm just done being your victim. Now move your car, or I'll have it towed. She started the car and drove off. I watched her go, then called the towing company anyway and told them to be on standby tomorrow, just in case. Closing day arrived. Jeff and Kelly pulled up at exactly 2 p.m., which was when we were scheduled to meet. I was already there, standing on the front lawn with Rich. The house was perfect. Empty, clean, ready for new owners. I'd even had the carpets professionally cleaned and the walls touched up. We all walked up to the front door. My key turned perfectly in the new lock. We went inside and I handed Jeff and Kelly the keys. It's all yours, I said. We went to the title company office for the actual closing. Papers were signed, money was transferred, and just like that, the house wasn't mine anymore. I was standing outside the title company, holding a check for the sale price minus the mortgage payoff and the discount I'd given them, when I saw Amanda's mom's car pull into the parking lot. Amanda got out, her mom right behind her. Both of them were headed straight for the entrance. No, I said to Rich. They're not ruining this. We went back inside. Jeff and Kelly were still there, signing some final documents. Amanda and her mom came through the door. Wait! Amanda shouted. Don't sign anything! The title company agent, a woman named Joyce who'd been doing this for probably 30 years, held up her hand. Ma'am, this is a private transaction. You need to leave. I'm his wife. I have a right to be here. You're his soon-to-be ex-wife, Rich said, and you have no legal right to be present at this closing. Amanda turned to Jeff and Kelly. Please, you don't understand. This is my home. He's kicking me out. I have nowhere to go. Kelly looked uncomfortable. Jeff just looked annoyed. Please, Amanda said, and now she was crying. I have a medical condition. I need time to find somewhere safe to go. Her mom jumped in. She's pregnant. She needs stability right now. You can't just throw a pregnant woman out on the street. I pulled out my phone and showed Jeff and Kelly Amanda's Instagram. Her most recent post, from yesterday, was a photo of her at the gym. She was in workout clothes, posing in front of the mirror. The caption said, "No excuses. Grind every day." Does she look pregnant to you? I asked. Amanda's face went white. That's from before. It's from yesterday, I said. The timestamp is right there. You're not pregnant, Amanda. You're just desperate. Jeff stood up. Look, lady, I don't know what's going on between you two, but we paid for this house. It's ours now. You need to leave. Joyce called security. 2 guys came up and escorted Amanda and her mom out of the building. I could hear Patricia screaming in the hallway. This isn't over. You'll pay for this. You've ruined my daughter's life. The closing was completed. I shook hands with Jeff and Kelly, thanked Joyce, and walked out of the title company with my check. Amanda and her mom were standing next to Patricia's car in the parking lot. Amanda was crying. Her mom had her arm around her. I walked right past them to my truck. Patricia broke away from Amanda and came running after me. You monster, she screamed. You've destroyed her. She has nothing now. Nothing. And it's all your fault. I stopped walking and turned to face her. For 2 years, I'd listened to this woman defend every terrible thing Amanda had done. Every lie, every manipulation, every cruel decision. Patricia had always taken her daughter's side, no matter what. I didn't destroy her, I said calmly. She did that herself when she changed the locks on my house and moved her boyfriend in. Every single thing that's happened since then has been a consequence of that choice. Not my choice, hers. I got in my truck and drove away. In my rearview mirror, I could see Patricia standing in the parking lot, still screaming. Amanda was sitting in the car, her head in her hands, and I felt nothing. No anger, no satisfaction, no regret, just nothing. It was finally over. Make sure to click on the screen to watch another story.